know if the audio is working, but if you're watching this, let me know where you are in the world. Are you on lockdown right now? I still feel like I'm in my PJs. Truthfully, I am in my PJs. Do you like my Star Wars outfit? And where are you watching from? How are you feeling right now? Just gonna spend some 5 minutes just talking to you and then get ready for the presentation or the webinar or the podcast. I haven't figured out what I want to do with this yet, but all I know is like I want to provide value and teach you or talk to you about how to stand out on LinkedIn. So how are you feeling? I'm enjoying my lockdown. Is that a bad thing to feel? I'm also getting ready to say that I feel like everyone's pretty restless right now. Are you sleeping okay? Are you feeling that, are you enjoying your time at home? If you're a parent, do you feel like you're being crazy? Like, are you feeling a bit crazy at the moment? Like, how are you feeling right now? And I'm trying to look for my, so one of the things that I notice with Restream and also with LinkedIn Live specifically, you can't see people's comments. So that's probably one feedback that I like to give to the LinkedIn team is that where are the comments? Because part of the engagement is the commenting. And if you're watching this and you're tuning in and you're watching the replay, type in #replay so I know who are watching or not. And I realize that that a lot of times that a lot of people don't do great LinkedIn Live because at the moment everyone's interviewing each other. So I'm just providing something a little bit different. I'm providing more practical tips on how to like stand out on LinkedIn because at the moment everyone's online more, you're consuming more, but are you creating? This is actually the best time to create. So, so it does work. Hustling. Oh yeah. I'm actually want to show you something. Share screen. I feel like I want to like talk about how to stand out on LinkedIn. I want to like talk about what you can do to stand out on LinkedIn. And I feel like my computer doesn't seem to be able to handle this at the same time. I'm watching for a quote. Yeah, I just want to sleep. This is too much. So Estefani from Ecuador says like, this is overwhelming. And I've been napping a lot and there's nothing wrong with you napping at the moment because I feel like what we can do right now is just like use this time to reset, reassess, and think about what we need to do to survive and thrive in this world as well. So I just want to, how come I can't do this? Oh, cool, can do it. I want to share like the why. Why is it important to stand out and think about creating content on LinkedIn? Because I think at the moment, LinkedIn is pretty much a great place where people connect, create content, share their expertise, stand out. Like even if you're a job seeker, you're still an expert that needs to be a trusted expertise to be hired. Even if you're like looking for jobs and projects, even though people are like holding back on the, even though we're holding back and people are cutting budgets and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that they're not looking. I actually think the way we communicate now is also indicating how we should position ourselves and think about like, are these the people that we want to do business with? So, you know, this is not the time to do hard sales. This is not the time to do, be an asshole. This is actually the time to be empathetic and sympathetic, but also be a leader in this time because people are looking for the voice of reason and to find the calm and peace in this messy world we live in right now. And so the way you communicate kind of shows what kind of class you are, in terms of not the class in terms of social class, if you're rich or if you're poor, but the class in terms of like how do you put yourself out there in terms of etiquette, communications. It's like, oh wow, like is Jamie from the marketing world, how is he like delivering and communicating with his customers and his business? How, like, it's all about your brand at the end of the day, your reputation at the end of the day. So because we're under super stressful times right now, it's actually showing if you're an asshole right now, if you're a person of means, if you're like, you totally of class of caliber. So whatever you're doing right now, just be careful how you communicate to the world, because it's kind of showing what kind of person you are. If you're a nice person, awesome person, like a business orientated person, a person who is positive, negative, like everything about what you're doing right now is actually showing people what kind of person you are. So if anything, I recommend that you think about how you're communicating yourself online. So reputation is more important than ever. So think about like what you're doing right now, how you're communicating right now, and think about like using this opportunity to learn new skill sets, reconnect with people. It's not the time to be hard sales. It's actually the time to develop your communities and reconnect with awesome people as well. So I felt just want to share that thing. And recently I've like want to give out, I feel like I want to like comment people's things as well, but LinkedIn has been very laggy today in terms of the way they push content today. Okay, anyway, I just want to move on because I want to share some LinkedIn profile tips. Recently, one of my posts I asked to share some examples of who wants to be audited online, and I want to like pick 2 or 3 profiles and suggest like what we can do to update your profile. Oh, I want to share my screen and share a screen again. Share screen. Cool. Most recent. It's kind of interesting to see what's the topic. So profile tips. So recently, I've called out and asked people who wants to pick and be audited. And I think a lot of times there are 4 types of profile picks that we should consider. Like, are you a job seeker? Are you an expert? Are you an employee? Are you a business owner? And I realized that a lot of times that the way you show yourself on headlines, for example, I'm just going to push this out just to make it easier. And I realized that you shouldn't have any gaps, is that if we look at the comments on here, you could tell if that person is a job seeker, an expert, employee, or business owner. And I want to show you what I mean by that. On most recent, so for example, Maurice Veen, she's definitely a professional or number 3 employee. Joshua is definitely number 2, an expert. I know I hang out on LinkedIn all the time, so this is what I do every day. So Sheena either is a number 1, a job seeker, or and number 3, an employee. Sarah is definitely a employee right now. I have been freelancing so she's looking for a job. So I have been developing my own site. I hope to hear from you. Like, I'm picking one of these accounts. Nancy is definitely an expert. Anders is definitely a business owner and an expert. Alan, I don't know. See what I mean? Like, you can not tell. First impressions really count, and your little headline at the below your name indicates what type of person you are. So like a lot of times what I notice is a lot of people always do job titles like this. I'm a speaker, truthfully, I don't think speaking is relevant in this current climate right now. I'm a video creator, I'm a YouTuber, artist, architect, entrepreneur. That's a lot of job titles. I'm actually confused what branding she has. And Tom Clover is a product strategist. I feel like he's an expert in product strategy. Bridget Broche is, that's a long crafting unique food experience through elevated regenerative. So even reading things out loud will indicate what kind of like profile or what kind of like brand positioning you have. And a lot of times I feel like a lot of people don't think about their branding. And branding, like you need to know and be clear and have clarity with your branding to indicate what kind of value you could offer to people. Whether you're job seeking, you need to show you that you're an expert. So James is definitely an expert. He does help resumes. David is an employee. Alan is a business owner, but also he's an expert. So again, same thing with the job titles. Like a lot of people, you don't need to like put what job titles you are doing. And I'm trying to find like Tracy is a business owner and an expert, and she helps other people do LinkedIn as well. So think about like what you're doing here. Like Suzanne is a corporate girl with an entrepreneur spirit. Like she's a brand and business builder. But I feel like, again, it's the same thing with your like headlines and job titles. So a lot of times like I help businesses release products faster to customers with automated. Again, he's doing real, Ashish is actually probably has a really nice clean headline, but I don't know what type of business that he wants to help with. So I want to like pick two types of, I want to like pick two profiles at the moment. I want to pick an expert profile and a business owner profile. And let's see, Rochelle is an expert for sure. And Caroline is a job seeker. Max is I have to say he's a job seeker, but he wants to be an employee. I want to look for someone that I could help. Job seeker. There is a person that I want to help here, and I'm just looking for that account, but I'm looking for a business owner and a job seeker. Hang on a moment. And why I want to pick an expert? Because I have a reasoning behind what I do. Let's see, pick most recent. I'm giving kudos to I'll not pick. I want to do someone else. There's a lot of people who want their profile done, and I only want to pick two people because like everyone has like a lot of commonalities and stuff. But let me pick. Okay, so Anne Linus is what I call an expert, but she's a job seeker, so I'm not going to pick her. Let's do Lisa. And I'm also going to do Josephine because she's also a business owner. So what are the difference between the two? So again, there are three things you have to consider when you're updating your LinkedIn profile. One is your brand clarity, one is your headline, and one is your summary. And those three, I want to just show you how you could like think about your branding, your headline, and your summary. And Lisa, so she says that she wants to help people. And she said something that I thought was really eloquent. She wants to champion those who had a gap in work history and return to work with a focus on negotiating beyond their salary means, share personal game plan and insights project management systems to guide them through. So she's a career coach, right? Or transition career coach. But the thing about her headline is, so there's brand clarity. So she's a career transition coach. But when you look at her like headline, it does not reflect that at all. Lisa, fix up your headline. You eloquently in your comments with me shared what you wanted to do and want to be known for. So people come to you for to help them with returning to work. But in your headline, it does not show that at all. So I'm kind of confused. Are you like, don't write speaker. Speaker, again, I have to say, is not relevant in this current climate. Like, it does not indicate that you're a career transition coach. Not at all. And like when you look at your like summary, it does not indicate your profile. So I have to say there's a bit of disconnect the way you create your current climate at the moment. And, I am that champion, like you tell a great story, but you don't articulate what you're helping with. So I have to say there's a bit of a disconnect. So think about your positioning, your like, try to like redo this writing position because it's not being clear. So it's like, think of it this way. Like if you have to go, when a person meets you for the first time and you go to a networking meeting, how do you make sure that you are showing your value to that person on the first meeting? Your profile should be that. It's like they're meeting you the first time, they want to know who you are, but it does not like, and be clear on how you help them transition to a different career and have better negotiations. You did not articulate that in your summary. So moving on to Josephine, it's still loading. Does that make sense, people? Any questions like why Josephine is loading right now? Oh, cool. I have to say, like, restream, no, it just really is great. Either way, like, mine's not really blurry. It's just like, okay, so the next thing about, like, Josephine is that she doesn't have a banner, and she doesn't, let's go thing, and she also doesn't indicate what her, so she wants to promote her brand. So a thing about, like, LinkedIn is that you're even an expert. Like if you're a job seeker, you want to be an expert that wants to be hired. Like I'm just going back into my screen. Like for LinkedIn profiles, you're either an expert that wants to be a trusted authority. You're a job seeker that you're pretty much an expert waiting to be hired. So you have to pretty much indicate your talent, right? And if you're an employee, you're still an expert that needs to be, like you're already hired, but you have to promote the brand. So what kind of expert are you in? What industry are you in? How do you want to position yourself? Everyone in this day and age is a professional. You're a professional, you're an expert, but what kind of expert are you in right now? So I want to like also do particularly a profile of a job owner, because it's kind of slightly different. As a job owner, you want to promote your authority, but promoting the brand. What do I mean by the brand? It's less about you, but more about the brand. But still, as a founder, a business owner, you're still like representing the brand itself. Because it's like me, like I know that as a founder of the trusted voice, I have to both represent myself, because like I'm the first contact that, sponsorships will happen, partnerships will happen, relationships will happen. Like people still want to talk to me. So all the funnel, all the interest comes to me first, and I push it back into my business as well. So you have to think about what kind of authority you have. So in many ways, a business owner is still an expert too, because like people want to talk to their decision maker and talk to the source of trust, right? And in many ways, I don't want to be the bottleneck of my business, but I still need to learn how to like filter that attention, because a business owner, when you're out there, you have like the highest authority of trust as well. So I want to share my profile with Josephine, because I feel like Josephine is actually quite a awesome profile because she's a business owner. So I'm just going to share that screen again. Again, it's all about the headline. So she's the founder of CEO at Flow to Freedom. To tell the truth, Flow to Freedom doesn't have a recognizable brand. Imagine being a recognizable brand for like McDonald's. People would like connect with you like that. But you probably, if anything, as if you're like developing your new brand and I should have over 10 years of experience, I definitely think you should definitely educate what flow to freedom is. So if anything, you should add your like byline of flow to freedom and educate people about what you're offering. These days, it's not about writing third language, it's actually writing first language. So you're lacking a lot of context about who you are, like you're not educating what flow to freedom is. So think of it as almost like, what is flow to freedom? And what is the vision of flow to freedom? What is your values for flow to freedom? So I feel like a lot of things is missing in this context because you're not relatable or personable. So writing first language, writing in a way that is all about flow to freedom. And flow to freedom, I had to look at it, is liberates fashion and fitness conscious females from the confinements of heavy menstrual bleeding. And so it's a leak-proof fitness apparel. So you need to like put that byline. It's like flow to freedom, ... leak-proof fitness apparel brand, and educate people why this is important. Maybe even highlight why, like the inspirational story of like what flow to freedom is, and start pushing traffic back to flow to freedom. So you could actually add hyperlinks into your profile. I just want to view my profile. I want to show you my profile so everyone understands how to do an epic one. And so you could see when I comment, it's like your trusted guide to LinkedIn marketing and personal branding. See how clear cut that is. I've I need to like optimize better, but essentially I would just want to like make people click onto this. But the most important thing is this featured link. Yeah. So that means like LinkedIn allows you to push traffic into different places. Specifically for Josephine, she should definitely put her like Flow to brand website in there, so it gets pushed back to traffic onto your own website. In this case, it gets pushed back into my own website here. But remember, add a link. So why is this important? Because before we had, LinkedIn has made it possible for you to push traffic now. So even if I have to like do 3 things, I add a link straight away. Update your headline. Don't think about it in terms of like job titles. I'm a speaker, I'm a CEO, I'm a keynote speaker, I'm a content creator. It's not about like how many job titles you are. It's about indicating your value, your brand, make sure that you're providing value. Think about a value prop that you want to attract. Who are your audience that you want to attract? And by doing that, you have a more opportunity to attract the right clients and people that you want to connect with, and update your summary. It's like, now that you have a clear brand clarity with your headline, does it make sense in your summary? Back it up. And make sure you add links as well. So these are 3 things that I'll probably think about when you are updating your LinkedIn profile right now. So how is that? Like, does that make a lot of sense to a lot of people? Is it, is it something that you could do right now to fix up your profile? Is it something that you could pretty much update your LinkedIn right now with those 3 things, like headline, summary, and even adding that link to where do you want to push traffic? Where do you want to push eyeballs? So if that's something that you can't do right now, it's like, what's holding you back from updating your profile right now? So I want to show you something as well. I realize like a lot of people don't know how to create content on LinkedIn. So I want to like show you, like give you a feedback analysis of how to stand out on LinkedIn, because once you have your summary, your content, like your profile updated, you need to start pushing content because you want to position yourself as an expert right now. So one of the things that I've done in my Facebook groups is like I run regular video content on how to I'm brutal. I'm brutal in terms of like I'm always analyzing content and how to improve content. And I want you guys to learn from my brutal analysis so you can improve on your content as well. And I think, it's important because like a lot of people, I have to say, a lot of experts, a lot of professionals are not content creators, and that's okay. Like you're trying to like push content out there, but you're not doing it in any way to and I want to like show you how to like produce better content, because more people are online more than ever. It means like you need to like make sure your content is on point. And truthfully, even though there are so much content out there, there are not that many great content creators on LinkedIn. So which means there's an opportunity for you to stand out and have better content on LinkedIn. So let's go and analyze a few content pieces on LinkedIn right now. Oh, how do I go back onto my homepage? All right, so LinkedIn, if I have to like indicate it, is a feed. What do I mean by a feed? A feed means that this is what we do all the time. We're always scrolling. And when we're always scrolling, that means like we're looking for a post to stop. So the game for the first, like for any content creators out there, when you want to create engaging content, when you post out your post and publish your post, think about how do you make people stop so they could read your thing. What can you do to make sure that your post is the one that people want to read the most? Whether read or watch the most, make sure that it's there. Like, how do you stop and read? So that's what you need to do. Like, and a lot of times, a lot of people don't think about that because one, you're not a marketer, and that's okay. But so I'll go show you my screen again, because I'm going to start analyzing what is a good content piece. So this is actually an ad. So I'm going to pass the ad, but see how like clear this person is. Like he should probably, what people do with ads is like they don't make it super catchy enough. Who at the hell is Mark Ritson? And why do I care about a 12-week online? So a lot of times like people don't sell the benefit, they sell the what. And you don't want to sell the what. It's all about like the why and it's not about the how. So AJ is actually quite good in terms of like his post. He made the first line really clear. Book me for a lunch and learn. To tell the truth, I don't really want to book you for a lunch and learn. Like that, again, that's the what. Like I like how he had this headline sentence, but he's selling the what. It's not, he should have like talked about like it makes more sense if he talked about being overwhelmed and like what can you do to provide better experience. So he's selling the what, not the why. And a lot of times like a good post is all about triggering the emotions about how we can do things as well. So again, Jared is here. I used all my frequent flyer points for a few oh, that's fun. So I feel like that is a bit more interesting thing, but he lacks engagement in terms of, you know, like not everyone, is this a relatable post? Can I relate to this post? But structurally, his post is really, really great right now. It's easy to read. Like he made it into dot points and made it easy to consume. But the trick to writing digestible content and consumer content is writing for a grade 5 language mindset, because the way we consume content is all about like being digestible. His call to action could be like something else. He's like, are you sitting on lots of mile points right now? That's like a yes or no question or response, and you don't want a yes or no response. You want meaty conversational pieces, so then people could think about things as well. Okay, cool. Okay, that's a good question, Renee. Please explain appropriate content choices and tone that you should try to set an end game. That's a really good one for you, Renee. I will answer that question. So if I keep on going, like this is like, I just want to show you the current climate of posting right now based on my feed. What common people do is like, oh, I love you, Mark, but this is a very common thing to do, is people write chunky posts like this. And that's not something that could be read really, really easily. Make sure that, again, it's all about making it easy to read. So even if you just have a headline. So, oh God, it's actually really good. I love her headline. I help creatives get comfy with money. And she's a money whisperer. So she's essentially a money coach. I like to help. So she did the first headline as something easy to read, but it's not punchy enough. But structurally, she's written it in a really easy, tangible way. I include the links in the comment. That's really important. So it's really important to have links in the comment, because like LinkedIn doesn't want you to push you outside of the post. I'm trying to find like an easy one. Okay, this is engaging. So typically on LinkedIn, there's a lot of people who have creating very dry content. So anything like Dancing Diana is creating content that's engaging and providing relief. So creative people should definitely jump onto LinkedIn right now, because like people are finding different content to consume. Even like you don't have to be professional, but remember, like Diana is a comedian and a performer, so this is for her is professional content. Keep going, keep going. I have to say, like I've yet to find a content that's like is A grade. I'm seeing a lot of like C grade, B grade content on LinkedIn right now. So Richard Moore has it right, stop. So that's super engaging. Do you really want another online content? So apparently it's like he uses a lot of emojis, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is actually, sometimes Richard add more emojis, but he doesn't need to add that much emojis but it does, like he says it increases readability, and I do think it does as well. But you don't like, it's a bit of like hit and miss with emojis. So if you had too much, it might turn off people. If you have enough, it might continue to make people watch more and read more of your content. So what do you think? Should emojis be added onto your post or not? Is that easy to read or not? What do you think? And when we continue moving on, I think that I'm going to stop the screen right now. So what do you think? Was that super easy to read about? I actually think it's super important when you create content that make it super easy to read. So having a headline makes sense. Having shorter sentences makes sense. Having a strong call to action, and you don't put too many, but if you want people to super engage with your content right now, you have to make sure that you push people to comment or not. So Renee asked a really good question. It's like, please explain an appropriate content choice. So it depends on what it is. Like it comes back to your branding again. Like, are you what kind of content right now? And you have to be conscious of the current climate right now. What kind of content is resonating with people, and what keeps them up at night? And what keeps them up at night is actually about communication, coronavirus, working from home, mental health right now is a hot topic right now. And people want to know, you have to remember, it's not about hard sales. It's actually providing value, providing community things, retaining relationships, and just providing value. What do I mean by value? So value means you just have to rock up, show up, and provide the feel goods that will help your business move one step forward. As long as you're one step forward from all your competitors and your customers, you're okay. You don't need to be 10 steps ahead. And this very current climate right now, you just need to be one step ahead, because no one knows what's going on right now. It's pretty crazy right now. So as long as you're one step, 2 steps, or 3 steps ahead of your competitors and your clients, they will come to you, because people are looking for a voice of reason, a trusted source, an expert who knows what they're doing. And truthfully, no one knows what they're doing right now, because it's pretty much we're moving and in a new normal right now. What do I mean by the new normal? People are working from home, people are online more, people feel more disconnected, people are not adjusting to not connecting with other people in real physical time. So what can you do to unburden and help people through these difficult times? So I feel a lot of times that what we need to do is just rock up and show value. I feel I want to so I hope that helps. If you're interested in learning more about how to create better content right now, I'm providing more. I feel LinkedIn is still buggy right now, but if you join my Facebook group, the Trusted Voice on Facebook, it's pretty much will help you. All I do twice a week for 10 minutes, all I do is analyze different pieces of content, whether it be my own members, whether it be like the community itself, or just like looking at different feeds. Kirk says, I find emojis is a quick sign that someone's trying to get my attention for something I probably don't need. Good point. Kirk, like my copywriter friends and I would say is like you're too much emojis is trying to like grab your attention and it's distracting. And if you're a good copywriter or like write succinctly, you don't need to write too much. You just need to like provide the clear messaging. Can you explain outside links needs to be added in comments? Oh, so Matt, again, LinkedIn doesn't want you to like, they want you to stay inside. It means like they don't want you to go outside. So when you provide links that pushes out to the website, pushes out to like put into the main comments, it's actually diminishes your reach. So you want to put it into the comments because like it actually contributes to your reach overall on LinkedIn, because like LinkedIn wants you to stay inside the comments. Yes, if Josephine makes a really good point that emojis are super useful for between friends. It's a lot of in-jokes. It's so true. And it is clear for me. Please explain. And I actually think that, again, I actually think a lot of the content on LinkedIn right now isn't that great, which means it's an opportunity for people out there to create content of value and provide value. So I hope that helps. I'm going to be coming back again next week with something else. I still haven't figured out if I want to do interviews with people, but I'm kind of enjoying just sharing and providing value in terms of like in pajamas right now. So we're all in pajamas, and I just want to say that no matter what's happening right now, I hope that you feel like, no, this is an opportunity to reflect what you're doing, reassess if the job that you have right now or lack of job, it's like, what kind of job or future do I want to live in? Because I feel like at the moment we're resetting. The economy is resetting right now. Things are moving rapidly. Like yesterday we were working in offices. Now today we're at home working. And I think this is the new norm. Cool. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. I see you again next week. I'm probably going to answer one or two questions, but I feel like this is enough for you to like, you know, understand how to do a great profile and think about content that makes people stop and engage with. And thanks again, Josephine, for tuning in. Shout out to Josephine.